CSS classes are how we affect multiple elements with just one piece of code. Now, we covered this in internal CSS as well as external CSS, but we haven't learned about the actual class attribute itself. So the class attribute here is a global attribute, and it can tag along with almost every element. In this video, you're not going to learn about CSS, nor are you going to be tested on any of the CSS that we write, but the HTML part you will be tested on. So I'm going to open up some space here. I'm just going to call this class. Again, don't worry about the CSS. And what I'm going to do here is, now that I have a CSS class called class, I'm going to write it in here as class. And open this up in the browser. And we have our solid 1-pixel border. Probably nothing new to you at this point. But where this gets more powerful is duplication. I can duplicate this as many times as I like. So I've got 5 copies here. And it's going to show up 5 times. That same border is going to show up 5 times. Again, if I remove that border, it affects all of them. Now, the trick is it only works with the class attribute. And if we change this one to, this is an ID element, and we take away this class, refresh the page. It's the first element that we have, this first block element, is the only one without a border. The other way to style is through ID, and we're not going to learn about it in this video. That'll be in the next video. But ID does not work like class does. So if I put ID is equal to class, class matches up in our style, save and refresh in our browser, nothing happens. Now, we can have multiple classes. Let's call this one class 2. And we want the text to be centered. We also want the color to be red. We're going to add another class to the middle one here. This one will say has 2 classes. And to add another class, all we have to do is add a space. That's our separator, class 2. Going back to the browser, this one has a red font. The text looks like it's right in the middle. So we know that it is working off 2 classes. The first class has that red border. The second class has the red text, and the text is in the center. Now we can do this with multiple classes, not just 2, but we can do it with 3, 4, 5, 50 if you needed to. It's frowned upon to use 50, but if you need to use more than one, that's what they're there for. Your task for this video is to create a new document. Add the style element to the head element. In the body area, I want you to write 5 div elements. They all have to have the class attribute. Then create 2 classes in your CSS or inside the style element and name them .class and .class2. Style them the same way that you saw in this video. So .class should have a border with 1 pixel, solid red, and class 2 should have text align centered and color red. Now apply the .class to all 5 divs. Apply class 2 to div number 1, 3, and 5. Save and open this document in your browser and verify that all the divs have borders, and that div 1, 3, and 5 also have red font and centered text.